Every morning when I unlock the door to my clinic here in California, the first thing I hear isn't the sound of machines or paperwork. It's the quiet sighs of people struggling with joint pain. I'm 60 years old now, with more than 3 decades working side by side with patients over 50, and I never take lightly the moment they sit down across from me, rub their stiff hands along their knees, and ask, Dr. Warren, is there a gentler, more natural way to feel less pain? I always look into their eyes that are half hopeful, half exhausted. And I understand. Joint pain isn't just pain, it's limitation. It's taking a few extra minutes every morning just to warm up your legs. It's realizing that standing up from a chair feels like a task, not a reflex. It's that grinding sound in your knees every time you climb the stairs, reminding you that time is taking more from your body than you expected. But the reason I've devoted my entire career to this field is because of another truth. Our bodies still have the ability to heal if we give them the right support, not expensive treatments, not stronger medications. Sometimes it starts with foods we've known our whole lives. Today I want to share something surprising that many of my patients never expect. A simple food you can buy at any grocery store, yogurt, can make a real difference in stiffness, swelling, and inflammation. I'm not talking about a cure. I'm talking about less pain, less inflammation, fewer flare-ups, and better morning mobility. And I've seen people at 58, 63, 72 years old feel a noticeable difference after just a few weeks of adding the right type of yogurt to their diet. You might be thinking, just yogurt, doctor? What can a little cup do? That's when I smile, because most people don't realize that certain yogurts contain active probiotics, natural anti-inflammatory nutrients, and the kind of protein that helps stabilize your joints, far more powerful than they imagine. The problem is, not every yogurt is good for arthritis. Some can even make swelling and pain worse. So which 6 types of yogurt are actually supported by science, good for your joints, and especially helpful for adults over 50? We're about to break that down together. Before we talk about which yogurt is best, I want you to understand something much more important: why your joint pain keeps coming back, and why sometimes a simple nutrition change can help your body respond better. I've worked with thousands of older adults, and there's one thing almost everyone overlooks. Arthritis doesn't start at the joint. It often starts with your immune system and your gut. Let me explain in the simplest way possible. Inside your gut live trillions of good bacteria, little gatekeepers that control inflammation levels throughout your body. When your gut microbiome is healthy, it helps regulate the immune system, reduces inflammatory signals, and keeps your joints from swelling as much. But when you eat too much sugar, too many processed foods, or too little fiber, these good bacteria weaken. Then the body reacts by producing more cytokines, those inflammation-triggering molecules. And you probably already know what that leads to. Longer morning stiffness, mild swelling in knees or wrists, that joint-locking feeling when standing up, more pain when the weather changes, more frequent flare-ups. Some of my patients used to think their bones were simply getting old, but in reality, a lot of joint pain comes from gut imbalance, which then triggers inflammation throughout the body. The second issue is silent bone loss, something many people with arthritis never notice. When bones weaken, joints carry more load, cartilage wears faster, pain becomes harder to manage. I once saw a 74-year-old woman who thought she had mild knee pain, but her bone density was so low that it made every treatment less effective. And finally, there's one more factor people often forget: the muscles around the joint. These muscle groups act like protective straps. When they weaken, as they often do after 50, your joints absorb more force. More force means more pain. In other words, your immune system controls inflammation. Your bones determine how much pressure your joints carry. Your muscles stabilize and protect those joints. And all 3 of these areas are strongly supported by probiotics, plus calcium, plus vitamin D, plus protein, nutrients that are found in some yogurts, but not all. That's why I ask my older patients to start with one simple shift. Choose the right type of yogurt each day. A small change, but in the right direction, can make a big difference in joint pain. Before we get into the 6 best yogurts for arthritis, let me explain why yogurt, a simple everyday food, can have such a powerful effect on joint inflammation. Once you understand the mechanism, you'll know how to choose the right type, use it correctly, and feel real results. 1. Probiotics, the inflammation coordinators. There's a hidden communication line between your immune system and your gut that most people never hear about. Adults over 50 often lack enough good bacteria, which makes inflammatory responses overreact. Probiotics in yogurt help regulate inflammatory signals from the gut, reduce cytokine production, strengthen the gut lining, and reduce leakage. When the microbiome stabilizes, many patients tell me they feel less stiffness in the morning, less random swelling, fewer weather-triggered flare-ups. That's not luck. That's biology. 2. Calcium, vitamin D, reducing pressure on the joints. Arthritis often comes with degeneration, but bone loss occurs silently at the same time. When bone density drops, bones absorb less force. Joints absorb more. Pain becomes more persistent. Yogurt provides one of the most easily absorbed forms of bioavailable calcium, vitamin D, in fortified types. Long-term research shows older adults who eat yogurt regularly have stronger bones and lower levels of joint pain. 3. Protein, strong muscles, chakras, stable joints. I say this to patients almost every day. Your muscles are your joint armor. When thigh, hip, and knee muscles weaken, joints take all the impact. Pain worsens with walking or standing. Balance issues begin. Protein in yogurt, especially concentrated yogurts, helps slow age-related muscle loss, build better joint support, improve movement with less pain. 4. Healthy fats and antioxidants. Some yogurts contain MCTs, anti-inflammatory, vitamin E, reduces oxidative stress, magnesium and zinc, immune regulators. Together, they act like a soft shield protecting cartilage from damage. Yogurt is essentially a 4-in-1 package. Probiotics, less inflammation, calcium plus vitamin D, stronger bones, protein, stronger muscles, healthy fats, calmer joints, which is why I rank yogurt among the top daily foods for arthritis patients. Skyr Iceland, the slow-digesting protein for joint support. Many of my older patients prefer Skyr over Greek yogurt because it's thick, high in protein, and almost fat-free. More importantly, its slow-digesting protein helps maintain muscle support for hours. For people with arthritis, stronger muscles, less joint pressure, less pain and inflammation, better muscle recovery, better balance and gait. Skyr also contains a generous amount of calcium, lowering the risk of bone loss, a hidden cause of joint deterioration. I often recommend Skyr to patients who feel pain when standing up, have weak thigh muscles, have low bone density. You can add a little honey or peach slices for flavor without overdoing the sugar. Soy yogurt, the ideal choice for lactose-sensitive adults. Many patients, especially women over 55, start having trouble digesting dairy. Soy yogurt solves that problem. It's lactose-free, less gut inflammation, easy to digest, fewer cytokines, rich in plant protein, steady muscle support, packed with isoflavones, antioxidant, and hormone support. The probiotics added to soy yogurt tend to be stable and gentle, making it a great option for arthritis patients with sensitive digestion. Multi-strain yogurt, 3 probiotic strains for better inflammation control. Not all yogurt has strong probiotics. Many only contain 1 or 2 strains. For arthritis patients, I prefer yogurts with 3 to 5 strains because they improve microbiome diversity, reduce oxidative stress in the gut, regulate immune responses, reduce inflammatory signals reaching the joints. Patients often report less bloating, easier movement in the morning, less of that warm ache inside the joint. Goat milk yogurt, gentle on the gut, fewer flare-ups. Goat milk has smaller fat molecules and softer protein structures, making it easier to digest and less likely to trigger systemic inflammation. It also contains MCTs for anti-inflammatory support, vitamin A for immune balance, calcium plus phosphorus for stronger bones. Many patients say their hands feel less puffy in the mornings, and weather changes bother them less after switching to goat milk yogurt. Kefir, the fermented yogurt drink for chronic arthritis. Kefir isn't just yogurt, it's like a concentrated dose of probiotics. It can contain 20-30 beneficial strains, helping rebuild gut balance quickly, reduce cytokines, ease digestive stress, improve morning stiffness. Studies show that after 6 to 8 weeks, people experience fewer flare-ups, softer, smoother joint movement, less pain at night, less radiating discomfort down the legs. Kefir is especially helpful for digestive stress, chronic inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis. You can drink it plain or blend it with low-sugar fruit. 1. Plain Greek yogurt, high protein, less stress on your joints. I put plain Greek yogurt in the #1 spot for 3 big reasons. 1. Almost twice the protein of regular yogurt, helps strengthen the muscles around your joints. Less pain from overload, too high in calcium, improves bone density, takes pressure off your joints when you move. 3. Stable, active probiotics, better control over inflammation. Many of my patients over 60 who eat Greek yogurt 4 to 5 times a week tell me they feel less pain when standing up after sitting for a long time, can turn over in bed more easily, notice less grinding or cracking in their knees. One very important note, always choose the plain, unsweetened kind. Added sugar drives up inflammation and works against everything you're trying to fix. Now that you know the 6 best types of yogurt for people with arthritis, the next question, and the one I hear most often in my clinic is, Doctor, how should I eat it to really see results? I want to share the most practical guidelines I've learned from years of working with older patients. They're simple, but if you follow them consistently, they make a real difference. 1. How much yogurt per day? You don't need a lot. What matters most is consistency. About 120-170 grams per day, 1 small cup, or 3 to 4 times per week if you don't want it every day. That's usually enough to improve your gut bacteria, lower inflammatory signals throughout the body, support your muscles and bones without upsetting your stomach. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, I usually suggest 5 to 6 times per week because the immune system in that condition is more sensitive and responds better to steady support. 2. Best time of day to reduce inflammation. The best times to eat yogurt so it really helps are in the morning, when your immune system is more stable, helps ease morning stiffness, gives you protein early in the day to support your muscles, improves absorption of vitamin D and calcium, or about 1 hour before lunch helps smooth out blood sugar spikes, feeds your gut bacteria, reduces that heavy bloated feeling after eating. Try to avoid eating yogurt right before bed, especially if you tend to get gassy or bloated. 3. Mistakes that can make yogurt hurt you more. A lot of my patients make these common mistakes. Choosing sugary yogurt. Sugar triggers inflammation and cancels out the benefits of probiotics. Choosing yogurt with artificial flavors can irritate the gut and make flare-ups worse. Eating yogurt with very sweet granola, hidden sugars often very high, inflammation shoots up. Eating yogurt for only 1 to 2 days and then giving up. Your gut bacteria need time to rebalance. 4. Anti-inflammatory add-ins. These are the toppings I recommend to boost the anti-inflammatory effect. Blueberries rich in anthocyanins, strawberries, chia seeds, walnuts ground, flaxseed, cinnamon, a little turmeric. They add antioxidants and healthy fats, helping your joints feel smoother and more comfortable. 5. A sample day for someone with arthritis. Morning plain Greek yogurt, plus a handful of blueberries, plus 1 tablespoon chia seeds. Lunch salad topped with 3 spoonfuls of goat milk yogurt as a creamy dressing. Afternoon snack, cold kefir, 1 to 4 of an apple 3 days a week. Swap in soy yogurt instead, if you're sensitive to lactose. This is a pattern I often use for patients over 55 with chronic knee pain, and the results after 3 to 6 weeks are usually quite noticeable. 6. How do you know yogurt is really helping? After about 2 to 4 weeks, you may start to notice Less morning stiffness, less pain when standing up. Better range of motion when turning your knees or wrists, less bloating. Deeper, more restful sleep, because your gut is healthier. Those are all signs that your body is responding. I'd like to share a little story with you, one that warms my heart every time I think about it. Not because it's miraculous, but because it reminds me how willing the body is to heal when we give it a chance. 3 years ago, I met a man named Harold, 67. He was a retired construction engineer who had spent half his life on job sites, climbing ladders, lifting heavy materials, working in all kinds of weather. But in retirement, what wore him down most wasn't loneliness or a slower pace of life. It was his left knee hurting so badly that every morning it took nearly a full minute just to stand up straight. I still remember our first appointment. Harold sat down and gave me a tired smile. "Doc, I just want to walk 15 minutes in the morning with my wife, but lately I barely make it 5 minutes before my knee starts complaining." He'd tried pain meds, heat packs, massages, but the relief only lasted a few hours. What caught my attention wasn't just the condition of his knee. It was that his digestion was always gassy, uncomfortable, and bloated. I knew right away something in his gut was interfering with his body's ability to fight inflammation. I explained to Harold that sometimes if we want the joints to feel better, we don't start with the joint itself, we start with the gut. And I suggested one very small change. "Harold, every morning before your walk, I want you to eat 1 serving of yogurt, plain, unsweetened, with plenty of probiotics. Stick with it for at least 6 weeks." He laughed and said, "Doc, what am I supposed to expect from that? I eat yogurt and suddenly my knee stops hurting?" I just told him, "Give your body a chance. Let it show you what it can do." 3 weeks later, Harold came back. He walked into my office without leaning on the doorframe like he used to, and the first thing he said was, "Dr. Warren, I don't know why, but it's easier to stand up now. I'm walking 12 minutes every morning." 6 weeks went by, and Harold and his wife were walking 20 minutes a day. He told me that the sharp, stabbing pain had eased a lot, and the thing that made him happiest was this. He was no longer waking up in the middle of the night because his knee was throbbing. Harold didn't change his entire life. He just added 1 cup of yogurt to his morning routine. One small change, but in the right place. If you've stayed with me this far, it tells me you truly care about your health, and I always respect that in every patient and every older viewer. So let me ask you something simple. Out of the 6 yogurts I just shared, which ones have you already tried? And which one do you want to start with tomorrow? Go ahead and comment below. I'm going to try Greek yogurt. I want to start with kefir. I'm lactose intolerant, so I'll go with soy yogurt. I read every comment, and I'll do my best to answer questions about joint pain, stiffness, inflammation, gut health, so you can have a clearer plan for yourself. And if you found this video helpful, if you know even one friend or family member over 50 who's struggling with joint pain, please share it with them. Sometimes a small piece of information can change someone's entire quality of life. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because I have many more important topics coming for older adults, like anti-inflammatory foods, natural pain relief strategies, how to improve mobility after 50, and common mistakes that make joint pain worse. Health is a long journey, and I'm truly honored to walk it with you. Before we say goodbye in today's video, I'd like you to give yourself one quiet moment. Put your hand on your knee, your wrist, or wherever bothers you the most, and ask yourself, how much better could my body feel if I started treating it differently tomorrow? I've seen thousands of patients in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and I've realized something very important. They don't suddenly become weak because of age alone. They become weaker because their bodies stop getting the right kind of nourishment day after day, year after year. But those very same people, when they decide to make just one small change, often see their bodies respond more strongly than they ever expected. I once watched an 81-year-old woman who used to shake every time she stepped down from a curb look at me after a few weeks of better gut care and smarter eating and say, "Doctor, I'm standing up faster, and I feel like I've gotten a little piece of my life back." I've seen a 74-year-old man who believed knee pain was his destiny walk an entire park with his granddaughter without needing to sit down. And I believe something similar can happen for you. No one is asking you to change your whole life, but I am asking you to start with one small step you can actually do today. Add one serving of the right yogurt to your routine. One small decision, one small action. But that's how healing begins. Slowly, quietly, and steadily. Remember this. You weren't put here just to endure joint pain. You are here to walk more freely, to enjoy everyday moments, and to feel that age is not a barrier, but a reminder to care for yourself more wisely. And I, Dr. David Warren, will be right here, walking alongside you on that journey.